Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D, and welcome to another episode with us from GTF Radio Show. We'd like to welcome you guys.
Thank you.
Shush. Shut up. There you go. Don't say it early. We'd like to welcome you guys to the show. For those who are listening currently, you are probably on blogtalkradio.com/GFT Radio Show. You could definitely listen and join in the conversation. We will be taking calls around 10:15. What else going to say? We're going to introduce who's on the show today. Jabril is not here today. He's still Army things going on, so he's not here. But we do have Clint.
What's going on, people? Yeah, we're going to have an interesting conversation tonight about relationships.
Yes. Tonight's show is the relationship talk show. We're going to talk about different parts of relationships. We have three main questions we want to touch base on. So we're going to get this show started. Check our website, though. Also, in case you want to know the questions ahead of time, you can go to www.gftradioshow.com. But our first question is, what do you consider to be a healthy relationship? Clint, you want to go first?
Well, I think the key to any healthy relationship starts with communication. Right. I believe proper communication. I think we talked about it before. You know, in any type of relationship, you know what I mean, when you communicate, it's more than just talking. You have to listen. You have to come to some type of understanding. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might even have to compromise. You know what I mean? It all starts with proper communication, though. So if the relationship has no communication or poor communication, the foundation is cracked, and it's not going to last, in my opinion. So I think the key to any healthy relationship is communication, and then you go from there to trust. You got to be able to trust your partner, you know, and trust has to be earned. You know, you just can't give it, in my opinion. You know, and you have to keep. It's a continuous thing, because, you know, every day, you know, unforeseen occurrences befalls us all. So we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So if I'm in a committed relationship with somebody, and say I lose my job, or, you know, I get hurt, or I get sick, and I trust that person to stick it out with me.
Yeah.
You know, I believe, you know, everybody, when they go into relationships, they always think they always see everything with rose-colored glasses. You know, they don't want to think about what can go wrong. And, you know, you got to prepare yourself for both, because if you're not willing to stick it out when things get bad, there's really no need to be in that relationship.
Yeah. It's funny because I actually, I'm sorry, what were you saying? I didn't want to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Preparing for this show, I actually thought about it. I had to really think about what are like the core things that you consider, that I would consider a healthy relationship. And I hit up Google, and I was just looking at different things, and I came across like a general list, and I kind of want to throw this out there, that way we could kind of talk about it or speak on it if we so choose. But as you said, the first one was communication, respect, quality time, time apart, love languages, which we touched base on a podcast a while back, appreciation, the negatives and the positives. You know, a relationship has their problems, but you kind of balance it out. And also with that, it ties in with choosing your battles. And then, of course, the last one will be sex, because that's a part of having a healthy relationship. But, what are your thoughts on that, Clint?
Well, say some of them again, because
it was communication, respect, quality time, also having time apart from each other, love languages.
You said appreciation, though, right?
Yes, appreciation.
Yeah, that's the one.
And then
appreciation.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think appreciation is important too, because you never want to be taken for granted in a relationship. You know, you want to, it ain't all about being praised or, you know what I mean, stuff like that. But you just want to know that your partner appreciates you and the things you do or bring to the relationship.
Exactly.
No, I think that's big too. I think especially, I can't really speak for y'all, but from my experience, I think women.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I think women want to be shown appreciated, show that they're appreciated more so than men.
Yeah, because, I mean, I know one of my relationships I had, I was with this guy. We both worked. Of course, you know, we lived in the household. We maintained the household together. He paid the majority of the rent, but I basically covered, like, whatever portion of the rent I could, and then all the other stuff of the house, you know, food, buying the little things, you know, cooking and all that stuff. And, you know, sometimes I would come home from a long day of work, and I was expected to cook, and it's like you don't appreciate the fact that I do cook for you as often as I did, and you could just, you know, I would say, yes, showing appreciation is for me to come home to a cooked meal once, not always, you know, little stuff like that, just showing your appreciation. And that works for men, too, because men want to be appreciated. They do a lot. You know, they take out the trash, you know, normal men stuff, you know, help pay bills and stuff like that. And you guys want to be appreciated for what you do, too, but, like, the same with us. But, like, I agree, women more so than men really feel like they're underappreciated.
Exactly. I was in one of my previous relationships, it was we was trying to make things work. And it was this book called Love and Respect. Mm-hmm. And basically it came from, it was a married couple who wrote the book. And it came from the perspective that women want to be shown more love, men want to be shown more respect.
Yeah.
And it's like a crazy cycle. The less respect a man gets, the less love he shows. The less love a woman gets, the less respect she shows. And until they equal out, we'll always be stuck in that crazy cycle.
Yeah.
You know, and nothing will ever change. So I think that if people ain't never read that book or ever heard of that book, that's a good book to read. And you read it together. As exercise. It's called Love and Respect. And it breaks down and it makes some very valid points. You know, so
yeah.
I think go ahead.
I also wanted to talk about quality time. That is a big thing. And I think that also relationships fall short of things because, you know, we work, we have kids, especially when people get married or just in a relationship. Like we get so wrapped up in the daily, you know, routines of going to work, taking the kids and this, that, and third, you kind of lose the quality time with your mate. And I remember I was talking to the guy that I'm seeing, and we talked about that, like giving your quality time to that person is everything. Like spending quality time is just finding little ways to spend time with each other, like whether it's like some couples do date night, you know, sometimes you just sit around and you just get the kids away out of the house so you just be with each other and like get that back because like I said, when you're doing the day-to-day everything, you pretty much kind of lose track of, you know, getting time to spend with your mate or your spouse, and people don't understand how important quality time is. You got a lot of time. You know, a lot of women that say, "Oh, my husband works too much," or "My boyfriend works too much. I never get to see him." Or women, we work too much. We're always with the kids. We never really spend time. Like you get so wrapped up with the kids, you forget that you have a mate that you have to kind of spend time with. So I think sometimes people get caught up in losing that train of thought, and that's how people end up. That's how people end up cheating because this person is giving me their time and you're not, and you're my spouse or my mate or my boyfriend or girlfriend, you know.
Yeah,
so I think that's a big one.
Yeah, I was just about to say that because an idle mind is a devil's playground. So if either person feel like they're not getting enough time or enough attention, they're going to seek it elsewhere.
Yeah.
In some form or fashion. And that can lead down a dirty road.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. Quality time is important. You feel
yes.
me? And I think going into something, y'all got to have things in common and things y'all like to do together. You know, if you're going to pursue a relationship with somebody. So if you have things you like to do together, you know, it makes it easier to spend that quality time together.
And that's what, like, you get the couples that you get, like, one person is really outgoing, likes to travel, likes to do all this stuff, and then you get the other person that just likes to sit at home and do nothing and don't want to be around other people, don't really like to be social, which is fine, but sometimes you have to kind of find some common ground.
Yeah.
Because, you know, then this person, you're like, oh, you're always going out. Well, you never want to go anywhere. And then you kind of lose it there, and then you're wondering why this person is always out and spending time with their friends that want to go out. And then you're left behind because you don't want to do anything. Like, it's compromised, and you have to kind of, you know, and like I said, you have to find something that you both love and enjoy and do that. Whether it's going to the gun range, going to the movies, something.
With me, like, it's difficult. I know it's difficult dealing with me when it comes to that. As far as, you know, because I like to go out, you know, but I don't really like to go out locally. You know what I mean? Because I don't like seeing the same people I already see. You know, for real, like, I really don't. I like to travel and all that. But at the same time, I like to stay to myself.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I'm not all into that. You know, you got your friends. I have my friends. I don't necessarily have to be friends with your friends, in my opinion. I feel it's like, I mean, we can be cordial and respectful, but those are your friends. That's your thing. So when y'all go out, that's you know what I mean, your own personal thing. I don't want to invade on that. Yeah, if you want to have a couple night here and there, that's cool. You know what I mean? We can do that. But, like, I ain't really trying to mingle and party with your friends all the time. That's just
so you're
how
going to have to find somebody that's similar to you in that way, because I get it, because a lot of guys are like that. A lot of guys don't really want to be around, you know, their mates, spouse, friends, for various reasons. It could be chaotic, loud, or just extra, or whatever. Like, I know how females can be, so I understand to that standpoint. But I would say that couples night, that's good, but sometimes nine times out of 10, half the friends are not in a couple, they're single. So, but I don't know. I'm an outgoing person. I like to go out here and there. I pretty much I don't like to go out all the time, but I like to go out. I want to go out dancing. So I know for me, not necessarily saying you have to be the best dancer, but you have to go out and do something. Like, I like to go dance. Yeah. I like to play spades too. I can sit in the house too and play cards, but you know,
you can do that all the time. That's my game right there.
It should be everybody's game. But yeah, definitely, like, you gotta find common ground. But then see, I'm a tomboy, so I can hang with the fellas and just BS and play some. I play Grand Theft Auto all day.
Yeah, and I guess that's why. Because when I'm chilling with my boys or something, like, that's man time. Let me. I don't need you doing always. You feel me? Like, it's cool sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna say that it's forbidden or I don't like it. It's cool. I don't have a problem with it. But for the most part,
all the time.
I don't want it all the time. Like, that's my time to release. You know, the be, you know, it's a certain type of vibe. I guess females have the same thing. When y'all with your girls and when we with our boys, it's a certain different vibe. Sometimes you just like to let loose a little bit. You can relax a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That tension. You can release some of that tension that may build up in a relationship. And to me, I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think you need that release valve. You feel me? I don't like. I know one thing on the flip side of that.
That kind of goes with time apart.
On the flip side, I don't like a girl to be up under me, and I don't like to be up under a girl. Like today, perfect example. A friend of mine, we was all out chilling earlier, and he rolled up. This girl was in the car with him. He was so frustrated. Now, he pulled over, got in the car. He was talking to her. He was like, man, she ain't got no friends. Like, yo, like, like, I just need an hour. I just need an hour away from her. Like, he was so frustrated because he wanted his own. He like, I'm trying to make some moves on my own right now.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was trying to do anything with other females. He just wanted his own space.
Yeah.
And he was like, I asked her, did she want to go do something? I'll give her some money. She'd go out. do this, that, and the third. She like, nah, she wants to chill with me. And he was just frustrated, and I felt it. I could feel him on that. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want nobody. I mean, as much as I like being around and hanging around, I would want you to be able to go. Like, I've come accustomed. I like being by myself, even with my kids now. Sometimes I think I want to run away because I just need, like, a mom break. Just a minute to myself to kind of gather my thoughts and not be looking at, Mom, I want this, or baby, I want this, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you want time to yourself. You don't really want to be around your spouse or your kids and things that matter. So you want to be by yourself. So I understand his take on it, but he has to find a way to tell her, like, hey, listen, I love you, babe, I love you. I need you to find some friends because you can't be in front of me all day. It's going to drive me insane. And that itself can drive a relationship downhill because if you always in front of somebody, that's smothering. You need time apart. I need to be able to miss you. Like, baby, you leave, go with your friends for a couple of days. Yeah, oh, baby, I miss you, yeah. And then come back and be all happy, hump on them, do something. Like, baby, I miss you. But don't be in front of me 24/7 like, oh, no, I need a break. Yeah. I need you. Even when we live together, don't go find something to do. Go be with your friends, babe. I need like an hour to myself.
Exactly. That's perfect.
But that's perfect. That goes right into time apart. You need to be able to be okay with having time apart, and not necessarily assuming that it's always going to be a negative outcome or he or she is cheating. No, sometimes you just need time to not look at each other. You see each other. If you live together, you wake up with each other, look at each other every day. Like, I see, hello, yeah, I'm gonna see you later. Okay, let me get a break. You go to work. Going to work is a break for me. You know, 8 hours. I see you in 8 hours, baby. Yeah, I miss you all day. Just don't call me all day.
Yeah, exactly. That's another.
Yeah, don't call me all day. I'm at work.
Don't be texting.
I will see you when I get home.
Exactly.
But like I said, you have to be. Some people are like attached to people and stuff, and I know I had that issue a little while back. I just needed a break, and I was just like, I'm not gonna answer my phone because this shit is crazy. It wasn't nothing that he did. It was just that I needed to not be on the phone talking to you every 5 minutes. Not every 5 minutes, but like every day. Like I saw you. I just saw you. No, I just left you. You need to call me as soon as I leave. I'm coming back. Like stuff like that. Yeah. But you know, I mean, definitely that's one of the things that will help relationship. But I also want to talk about the positives and negatives about, like, you know, you're not always going to have a happy, bubbly relationship. You're going to have problems, but you have to learn how to work through those problems. That's why no relationship is perfect. You're going to have all types of issues. Different things are going to arise in your relationship that you have to kind of face. You have to figure out how you're going to, you know, fix these issues and move on. That's one of the things that, you know, everybody argues. It happens. So
that's why communication is so important.
Yes.
In my opinion, because if you have good communication, you could deal with those situations so much better.
Yeah.
You know, and because that really, when things are going bad, to me, that's when the relationship will be defined.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's real or not. Because when things is going bad, it's easy to cut and run.
Mm-hmm.
On both
sides. This
also
also works with friendships too. Like I know. Yeah. I know for me, I've, like, within the last couple of months, I'm the type of person where I like to avoid argument. I don't like to argue. As much as I can argue I don't want to. And I know within the last couple of months, and on 3 separate occasions with 3 separate people, whether it was a person I was dealing with or a friend or a family member, it's to the point where I feel like our communication sucks.
Mm-hmm.
How I address, like, if I feel like it's an issue and I want to address it with you, it's always, well, you're the bad guy. You said this and I felt this way. You said this, but I took it this way. Okay, this is not, the way you took it is not how I meant it. Mm-hmm. This is what I said. This is why I said it. And this is what I wanted you to get from this. But at that point, you kind of realize, like, I realized that no matter how I said it, it was going to be wrong. And at this point, I had to understand that the communication right now is not good. So now at this point, you got to kind of take a step back and try to figure out how to get this communication passed, because it even happened with my dad. Me and my dad had a conversation. I talked to him, hey, you know, how you doing? fine. Oh, blah, 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 this, that, and third. And then I didn't answer a text message quick enough, and all of a sudden he thought that I was mad at him. So I'm like, okay, well, no, I'm not mad at you. I just had something come up. I had to do something real quick. That's why I couldn't respond. And then it was, okay, talk to you later. I'm like, why are you shutting down? Nothing went wrong. Let me talk to you. And it was like, no, I'll talk to you later. And it's just like, at that point, we can't even talk anymore. All because of the communication. And it's like, I think sometimes people read into the situation too much. And people overthink them. And then it becomes a communication issue because and then you become, like what happens is you lose that communication. You can't really connect like you're supposed to. And then one party shuts down and you can't break through that barrier. So at this point, you got to figure out how to do it. And that's with all relationships. You got to figure out how the communication process is going wrong and how to fix it. But if you're having someone that's completely shut down and not trying to address the issue, you can't get anywhere.
With me, I can honestly say, it's been different phases when it comes to that. There's been times where situation occur, and it could be, and I'm not just talking about an intimate relationship with, or having a girlfriend or whatever, friendship, family relationship or whatever, to where an issue arise, and I'll be the one trying to fix it. Mm-hmm. I go above and beyond to try to fix it. And then I go to the phase where it's like, I don't give a fuck. And like, if anybody know me, when I start feeling like, okay, I don't give a fuck, like I really don't, and people feelings get hurt, and I'm the type, if I cut you off, family, friends, relationship, when it's over, it's over. Mm. There's no coming back. So it's like, I know and it's different phases, and it's to this day. You know what I mean? But I actually, at this moment, I'm in a stage where, when it comes to relationships, to where I really don't have the energy to go above and beyond with nobody.
Yeah.
I got two focuses. There's only one focus, only one relationship I'll go above and beyond for, and that's with my daughter. Mm-hmm. And that's it, really. To be quite honest with you. And that's
I think that's why I'm like with the last situations that I've been going through within the last maybe 2 to 3 weeks, I'm just like over it because I feel like I've tried. At this point, I don't know what else I could do, and at this time, I'm tired of being the bad guy when I'm trying to communicate and no one's communicating back. So at this point, it's like I'm shutting down and I don't care, but I don't like that. I like to resolve issues, and it like hurts my soul so that I can't resolve this. And that's with any relationship, like whether any relationship I'm in, like whether it's a friendship, like a intimate relationship, or a family or anything. It's just like that's my personality. Like I have to fix this, and then when I feel like I can't fix it or I don't know what to do, it's like it really bothers me. Like I don't like that. So I think with communication and trying to work through issues and working through the negative, and then like I say, you got to kind of choose your battles. If you feel like you're going to lose, just forget it, let it go.
Exactly. You got to figure. It's like in life, priorities change.
Yeah.
So a relationship, I know in my case, a relationship that was worth fighting for, let's say, my daughter's 3.5, a relationship that was worth fighting for 3.5 years ago, as far as like a friendship or with a certain family member, like right now, it's not, I can't put that effort into it. It's not that I don't care. It's just that my energy is, I don't got the energy.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when we get to the dating part, I can go more into depth into how I feel about that as well.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about the third question?
Yeah. So. Like,
all right. Well, I just want to touch the one last thing. I definitely is important because I know with a lot of marriages and things like that. Well, it's not relationships. When people get angry, they kind of take away sex, or the lack of sex in a relationship can cause a demise of a relationship and not make it healthy. Like, it's all these things that we're talking about are part of having a healthy relationship, all this included. And, like, everybody says sex is not important. I beg to differ. I think it is important.
I think it is important, too. And I think more people, in my opinion, I disagree when you say a lot of people say sex isn't important. I think more people, especially in today's society, where we are just bombarded with sex and sexual images on TV and everywhere we turn, that I think sex has become, in some cases, the most important thing. Mm-hmm. You know, I know females, I know males who say, well, if the sex ain't good at all, you know, they're going to move on.
Yeah, but I think people give up with that. Like, I get it. No one likes whack sex. They want mind-blowing sex or whatever. But realistically speaking, like, you have to understand that in your relationship, when you're in a relationship with someone, in an intimate relationship, everything that works for the person, other people may not work for the person that you're currently with. So you have to learn each other. You have to learn each other what sets you in the mood and what particular things entice your appetite or things of nature. You have to learn that person, because you don't know. You can be somebody for years and not know what they like, because you think that whatever you've been doing all these years with other people works for them, and it don't. You have to be willing to teach and learn. That's the other person's fault. Because if you're having sex with somebody continuously and you're not being satisfied, you don't say nothing, that's on you. Yeah. At the end of the day. So you have to correct that. You have to correct that early. You know, that's when communication, you know, because like you said, what works for somebody else may not work with the next. Yeah. You know, I know a lot of people think they porn stars out here. But yeah. For real. But most people real average. You know what I mean? Like, you know, fellas always get bashed. You feel me? Minute Man, too small. But some women get. Some women, I've heard it. Listen. But a lot of women out here, like, dead fish. See, they want you to just go ramshack on them when they don't do nothing. You know, to some dudes like that. Other dudes, like, nah, they want to go like the war. It's like a battle. You know what I mean? And a little back and forth. That's how they enjoy it. Other people, you know, they don't like the little rough stuff. They like things, you know, soft and, you know, real basic. You know, everybody different. Yeah, but that's why you have to learn. A lot of people don't like to explore. And that's why you need to learn who you're dealing with. Like I said, you got people that be with people for years and just don't know how to, like, that's why you have to be a part of teaching and learning. Like, you have to learn your partner has to learn you. And you both have to be willing to teach each other, because we don't automatically know what turns this person that you're dealing with on. You have to learn. And I think withholding sex in a relationship is stupid. Like, I'm married, so I'm not giving you any. That's stupid. You're married, and all of a sudden I'm not giving you any because I'm mad at you for a whole week. Or you only get sex once a month, if that. Like, really? Yeah, I tell females all the time when it comes to stuff like that. Like, females may get more dudes to try to talk to them and all that, but there's way more females out here than dudes. Are outnumbered by a huge amount. So you know the old saying, what you won't do, somebody else will do, and may do it much, much better. Yeah. You know, everybody always talking about, well, he cheated with an ugly girl. That's not always the case. You know what I mean? That's not always the case. She might have upgraded stuff. Yeah. She might. So it's like that. She might have been the MVP. Yeah, exactly. You never know. But on the flip side, same thing with a dude. You know, you may think he, you know what I mean, King Dingaling walking around here, and like you said, it was never communicated to him that he really not pleasing her. Yeah. You know, and then what happened? She run into some random dude. You feel me? They hit it off. Boom. Now he done got her wide open. Yeah, and that's the thing. You got to connect with your partner. You have to have that connection. If you have a connection with your partner and y'all have sex, let me tell you right now, it'll be beautiful. It's a whole different ball game. Like a lot of people out here just sleeping with each other. But when you connect with the person that you're with, that's a whole nother ball game.
That's a tricky thing though, because you could really connect with somebody sexually, but there really isn't anything else to sustain the relationship.
Yeah.
I've been in that situation a couple times, to be quite honest with you, where like the sexual, connection was so real from the beginning and undeniable. Like it almost would make you feel like you should be together.
I love
but
you.
But when you step back, and it's both of y'all feel the same way. And when you step back and y'all talk and y'all really, look, analyze what's going on, like we ain't really no good for each other.
Yeah.
Either one of us are circumstances that are not conducive for a healthy relationship at all. I had this one female friend, like we see each other on occasion, but we really can't speak. Like it's crazy because the sexual connection was so serious. Like we kind of avoid each other, even though we can't see each other here and there on a regular. Like we avoid each other because we know all we have to do is be in the same room alone together, and something might happen. Just cause.
Yeah.
Just cause.
I have
you may
one
not
person
even
that
want
I don't
to.
ever want to see again, because if I see him, let me tell you right now, it's just, no, I'm not with you. I can't do that. Like, hey, how you doing? I gotta come chat with you. No, you never come to talk to me. You never ever, never ever, sir. No. Not have me walking around trying to find you every day of my life. No, you won't do that.
Exactly.
But so definitely, that's why I say you have to get somebody that you can teach you, and they can teach you them, and that way it's that, like, if everything else is there, you got to learn that one part. Learn it.
Exactly.
It'll be the best thing you can ever do for yourself, rather than be with somebody that's giving you what you're giving.
We all know as adults.
Yeah. Like
certain things that was sexually that may have aroused us or turned us on, say 10 years ago, like 32, 33. Like now it's like, all right, that may be basic, or I'm not into that no more.
Yeah.
Depending on what people into, people into a lot of stuff out here. They'd be surprised.
Yeah, I know. So, for me, I anyway, I am tamed now. But no, but definitely like that. I think those are like the core things that promote a healthy relationship, and I think that communication can pretty much wrap all those things into one pretty little bow. So you have to communicate in order to accomplish those qualities, those things, key assets you need to have a healthy relationship. But we're going to jump right into the second question, which even if you're not with someone, you can probably answer it as a past relationship type of situation. But is your or has any of your partners fulfilled your needs in your relationship? Your relationship needs, I'm sorry. So
we talking about everything.
Yeah, like did they fulfill your relationship needs at that whatever point in the relationship, that relationship that you were in?
Well, I have to say no. No relationship has ever fulfilled all my needs, or I would still be in a relationship.
I can dig that. I can, for me personally, I can honestly say not all at this current moment, no. Because of the situation that we're in, it's a little bit difficult to fulfill everything. So it's a little difficult, but I'm hoping that once the situation changes, we'll be able to get to that point. We do have to, like I said, we have to work on quite a few things, but that's all in communication and talking things out and trying to figure out what works for us. But I don't think anybody, I don't know if anybody.
Like you said, like we was talking about earlier, every relationship is not going to be perfect. So you can't expect everything, because nobody is everything. They're them. They're unique. Everybody is unique. So certain things you have to compromise and you have to work with. the things that ended any relationship that I was in my opinion, were foundational things. Because that's the things that make relationships last. You know, like we were just talking about, communication, trust, loyalty. You know, those three things right there are major to me. And like, you know, my last, you know, I'm like, anybody that know me know I wouldn't wild with being single on purpose. So between relationships, between like I say, over the past 10 years, I'm gonna say 12 years, I've been in 3 serious relationships, and they all ended, one, in my opinion, lack of communication. You know, young, mature, and you know, and also at the time it was a trust issue as far as, you know, when things got real, nobody was there. Another one was strong. It was a strong, on her end, it was trust. And on my end, it was more so, like, I'm not where, because in certain relationships, you ever been in where you may like that person, your feelings may be stronger for that person than theirs are for yours, or vice versa. And that's the position I was in. It was like, I felt her, you know, I really liked her, you know, and I liked her enough to that we was living together at one point, you know, right in Pennsylvania, whatever. But she was in love with me, and I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
Not that I wasn't mentally or emotionally ready. That's not what I wanted at that time. I didn't want to get that deep at that time.
Fireworks are crazy.
Yeah, I hear him.
Yeah, they doing fireworks at the ballpark. I apologize, guys, because fireworks is not gunshots. Yeah,
I hear him all the way, you know what I mean, in my house, all the way out here. Not from her phone, but I could literally hear him. And so that's, and the other one to me was, loyalty, the last one. That was my issue. Like, you know, once again, when things got difficult, and communication was like all three failed, to be quite honest with you, on both ends. Like, it wasn't just one person to blame. Like, both parties was to blame. You know, with me, I never say it was always one person's fault. I always like to take responsibility when a relationship doesn't work. So I don't know if I met all of their needs. I can sit here and say they didn't meet mine, but what did I do for them? Did I meet their needs? Obviously not.
Yeah.
Because if somebody somewhere would have found a way to make it work, and it didn't. So, you know, that's where I come from.
Yeah, no, I can relate to the one I dealt with this guy. We were like dating when we were kids. We were all in love, writing poems together, skipping through the meadows, all that jazz. And we kind of departed. We were together, and we kind of departed after high school. And, you know, life happened. He went his way, I went mine. And then years later, we had met up, and we tried to make it work. And he was, like, all in. And I wasn't there. Like, you know, life happened, you go through stuff. And I met with him, when we ran back into each other, I was at a vulnerable state. Like, we left a relationship that was just crazy. And, you know, I kind of lost my relationship, so I was kind of scared to even get back to the relationship at that point. And I met him, and this was like my high school love. So I'm like, oh, well, we can make this work. And his whole family, we all loved each other, and, like, we still do. But I felt like like you said, he loved me way more. He was 100% invested, while I was, like, maybe 50% invested because I was still trying to fix myself from the last relationship. So I had to end it. And I remember talking to him, and I tried to be mindful to, like, communicate and say what I'm feeling. And he was just like, no, we can work through it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to hurt you. Like, I'm not here to hurt you. Like, I love you enough to let you go rather than sit here and hurt you and know that I'm not ready to be here like how you are already here, you know. and
exactly
that bothered him and it bothered me, and it was like a real issue. And I ended up talking to his mother, and I was just telling her, like, I love your son, but I don't want to hurt him. And she was like, I respect that you even told him that. And I said, because like we done been through this. We done skipped through the meadows in the hallway, walked to like did all that stuff. Like it was like my high school sweetheart. And I really genuinely cared about him, and I really loved him, but I just didn't want to go back into something and know that I was not ready at that particular moment to do that. And I know relationships, I try to communicate how I'm feeling. One relationship in particular, I really didn't communicate. It took everything in me to kind of get myself together and walk away. But I think for the most part, I do try to communicate. I know that I'm at fault for some of the situations that I was in relationships and why they ended. But like I say, you learn and you grow from those, and you kind of think about things before you enter a relationship. And like you said, I had to take a break for myself, and it was like the longest break I ever took of being single. But I knew I had to get myself together because I was in a fragile state for quite a long time. No matter how much I tried to convince myself that I was okay, I really had to work through a lot of stuff. So you have to know yourself and know that relationships are not perfect, but you have to, like you said, take accountability for your fault in a demise of relationship and learn from your mistakes, whether it was your mistakes, their mistakes, or equal mistakes. You have to learn from them and prepare yourself for any upcoming relationships, because then you know how to approach different situations differently, Yeah,
what I've learned is what I learned early on,
mm-hmm.
very, very early on, is, from my uncles and my dad when I was young, I don't never want, like if I dealt with you, I don't want the next woman I deal with to be anything similar to you.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So when you ask that question, if they fulfilled your needs in any relationship, well, I'm quite sure, excuse me, the way I felt 7 years ago to how I feel now is quite different. So my needs within a relationship are different. So when I'm trying to court a female, or I, come across a female that I'm attracted to, she's going to be quite different from the past female. Not saying that the past female was bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that that's not where my mentality is at now.
Yeah.
I'm on to something new. I'm not saying it's better, but she's a better person, but she's better for me at this point in time.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to be trying to retrace steps, looking for somebody to fulfill some needs that I felt like I had when I was 22, 23. Like, where's the growth?
Yeah.
Where's the maturity? So I know with every relationship that has failed, it always failed for a different reason than the previous. I don't want to be the one trying to deal with the same female over and over again.
The same type?
Yeah, the same type of female over and over, and then want to complain about all females. That's not me.
A lot of guys do that, and women too. Women do it a lot. Like you date these same type of guys, and you expect to change. And I always say, like, I notice with my own pattern, like I have a pattern of comfortability. Like I like to, I dated you a while back. Let me retrace my steps. And they always say you're never supposed to go back, you're supposed to go forward. And that was my pattern. And also my pattern was to never try to let people get too close. And so then I would be comfortable with certain things, and then you kind of look at it like you basically self-sabotaging. And then you're saying, well, this person was like this, and this you just like so-and-so. And that was one of the things that said, and I just thought of that. That was one of the ones that was listed as a no comparison. You can't compare your current person to anyone that you dated previously. But when you realize that you're dating the same type of person, you have to take a look at you. You have to stop, take a look at yourself, and figure out what it is about yourself that you're attracting this same type of, whether you're going to the same type of places and attracting these same type of guys, or whether you're just doing the same thing. You have to figure out what are you doing.
You haven't learned anything.
Yes, and you have to kind of take yourself out of your comfort zone and date elsewhere. And then you'll see, you know, the pattern. Like I said, I had this guy friend I knew I knew him for quite a while, and he used to go on Facebook like, black girls ain't nothing. I'm not dating them. Mind you, he was black. I'm not dating them. I'm going to date me a white girl or somebody else with good hair and blah, blah, blah. Black girls are ghetto, this, that, and the third, and blah. And he was on a tangent. Then he went from I'm not dating anybody, and I'm not dating nobody with kids because X, Y, Z, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. And I used to watch his rants on Facebook. Now I used to always inbox him like, I'm going to need, I said, you're going to find somebody that is black with children, and you're going to love the hell out of her. And he is currently dating a black female with a child, and when he act like that child is his. And I jokingly inboxed him, and I was like, you know what? I thought you weren't gonna date no black girls, and look at you all in love. And he laughed now because you have to like I think some people limit themselves by their experiences and not realizing what they're doing to attract these same type of people, and then you have to kind of do a 360 and change it, and then you'll attract the right person. And I think that's and then I think he did that and he got it right. But that's what everybody needs to do. If you're dating the same person or just all types of ways, you need to figure out what you're doing wrong. It's not them,
exactly.
It's you.
Exactly. Oh, that's my motto. You know, if you continue to complain about women or men, then the real problem is you. Because there's a lot of, I know as far as men go who be complaining, I'll be like, man, there's a lot of good women out here that's handling their business, you know, and really looking for a good man. Loyal, trustworthy, all of that. They out here. I know it. I see them. I know a few of them. You know what I mean? But it's up to you to want to change your ways. Like you said, got to step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that leads us to our last question, I believe.
Yeah, it is. Are you dating with marriage in mind or just dating to be dating?
Okay. You want me to go first,
yep.
Or you want to answer that first?
No, you can go ahead.
I'm totally uninterested. I'm totally uninterested in dating. So, like, I'm the wrong one to talk to or ask about because, like I said, anybody, you know, like I'm dealing with my own little health issues right now. So with me, my top priority is my health and my daughter. I really don't have the energy to put forth, like I was speaking earlier, to put forth into a relationship. So like I was just saying, I know a lot of good women. You know, I know a real good one. She's trying to get at me. I'm not beat. Like, I'm totally uninterested. You know, like, I'm really not.
Well, why? I mean, I understand that you're focusing on your health, but, you know,
because,
you always find the best person when you're not looking.
Yeah, but I'm just not. It's just not. I don't have nothing to give, and nor do I want to give it. At this point, like, whatever I would have to give in a relationship, I'd rather give that energy to my daughter. You know, and to making this money. Anything else, like, I really don't have. I'm really so uninterested in. Like, I've never been in this position. You know, you feel me? Like, where you question your mortality. It has nothing to do with past relationships. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's solely me. So when somebody mentions dating to me or such and such asking about you or such and such like you, I'm not interested. And it's crazy because if you would have probably asked me about like 8 months ago, my whole demeanor or my response would have been different. But like at this particular point, I am so uninterested. It's like there's no way. You know, I had this one, you know, this one lady, a business acquaintance. You know, when I told her we was having the same exact conversation, and I was telling her like how uninterested she was because she was asking me, "Am I in a relationship with your girl? I mean, like, you a good dude, this, that." I said, like, well, that's not what I'm looking for right now. I'm uninterested. So I think in her mind something clicked. It was like, I can get interested. I can try it. So the next thing you know, she started making me plates, dinner plates, you know, asking me to go out, this, that, and the third. I'm like, listen, I see what you're trying to do. It's not going to work. You feel me?
But that's why you never. But that's it. Me personally, and I'm just gonna say this to you because I actually give a fuck about you. But I think that you are limiting yourself because you find the best person for you when you're not looking for them. And I understand your position. I understand that your focus is what is on right now, your health and your child. I get that. But at some point, that's a person that want to be there for you and support you and possibly fall in love with you. And you are a sweet person. You're a good guy. You're not like a crazy guy out here just humping on anything that walks by, and says, "Hey, Clint." You don't do that. And you're a very intelligent person, and I think that is attractive, and that's why she's like, "Hey, you're about your business. You're smart. You're not dumb. You can hold a very good conversation. It's not about money. Well, no, I'm sorry. It's not about bitches and hoes and shooting up stuff. You can have a real conversation, and I think that's appealing to her. So she wants to get to know you, and I get it. You're not looking, but doesn't mean that she's not. Like you can't. I just feel like you're limiting yourself.
I understand. I respect. It's just not going to happen. Not at this stage. It's just not going to happen.
I'm team whoever that girl is. I'm team her. I don't know.
You choosing the losing squad. I'm telling you right now, you're choosing the losing team. Like it's just not. Like I don't. Like when I say I'm totally uninterested, it's like as a man, when I see an attractive female, as a man I still look and be like, oh, she's attractive. She looks good. She can keep it moving. You feel me? Like I don't care what. Like I really don't care what she got going on. Like I really don't. Like she can have like.
Keep it moving, bitch. Keep it moving.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You can have the nicest car. You feel me? No kids. Live in a nice neighborhood. Great job. Cook. Loyal. Credit score like 800. Pretty feet. Keep it moving.
Not ashy feet.
Not ashy feet.
And don't put your feet on Clint. We discovered that last show.
Well, see, they're not even getting a chance. They're not even getting a chance. You feel me? I don't know if female. Only female putting her feet on me is my daughter.
We about to set up a dating site for Clint. We gonna put it on the website gftradioshow.com. We're gonna list all his pros and cons, and then how much he loves her. We're gonna put his cell phone number.
You can put all the pros, right? You can put all these pros, but when you put that con, all you gotta put one word: uninterested. He's uninterested. I'll let y'all know, ladies, right now, he's uninterested. You feel me? Like I mean, that's just where I'm at. You know what I mean? I'm joking right now, but seriously, it's like
that's where you at. I get it.
Because I don't. Truth of the matter, some nights. It's rough for me physically.
I can testify. For me, it is the same. I understand.
Yeah, so it's like it's rough for me physically. So. And
you don't want to get a buddy you can smack cheeks with and be done. But it's a missing girl. I'm only gonna smack cheeks with you. Don't ever call me about nothing else.
Nah, I'm not even like because I'm so, like I feel like. I would be doing myself a disservice. I would be knocking myself off my square. Like I got a certain mission, and I can't get knocked off course by trying to court a female because that's just not in the plans. Catch me a year from now, ask me that question, my response may be different. But right now,
Clint,
that's
hold
really
on.
not.
We got a call. Hold on.
Okay.
Caller, you're on the line with GFP Radio. What's your name and where you from?
My name is Sean Trell, and I'm from.
Hello.
Hey, am I on the line or who's on the line?
You're on the line.
Okay. All right. I just kind of tuned in a couple minutes ago. Y'all was talking about relationships and everything.
Mhm.
What's the current what are y'all thinking right now?
We're talking about are you dating with marriage in mind or are you dating just to date?
Man, That's a tough question for me. Here's my problem. So I'll be out on, I see a girl, I lock her down, we start, grooving, go out on a couple dates. I'm like, this could be the one. A week later, 2 weeks in, maybe not even 2-3 days in, I see another shorty out on the street, and I just lose track of everything.
So you basically like you with one shorty and then you see another one, you're like, oh, I like her too.
I want every shorty. So I'm trying to get into swinging. I'd like to get into.
Oh wow. So you're doing a lot.
Oh man, I'm doing. Where y'all located? Where y'all at?
We're in Jersey. Where are you located?
You in Jersey? Oh man, I'm down there in South Central Los Angeles.
Okay.
Man,
and you just want to. Wow. Well, thank you for calling in and chiming in. Do you have anything else to add?
What's that?
I said, do you have anything else to add?
Oh, I was going to say, I'm really into the white women, but I can't seem to get none of them, like they kind of picky and everything. So, that's the hard part. But, and Trump ain't making it any easier either.
All right, well, thank you for calling in.
All right, y'all have a blessed night.
You too.
Okay, that was real interesting.
Yes, it was. that was most interesting. Sean Trell from South Central? Thank you for calling in.
Okay.
He wants to get all the shorties.
But he only wants them to be white.
Yes. That was the best caller the whole time we've ever had a caller. That was very amusing. We have another caller. Hold on. Hello, you're on the line with GFT Radio. What's your name and where are you from?
What up, though? This Willie Styles at WillieStyles.com. How y'all doing?
Hey, Willie.
What's up, Will?
What's up? I've been listening in. Love the call, last caller. I just wanted to chime in on the latest question y'all talking about, and just to kind of piggyback on what Clint's been saying about the whole, I think what just coming from his perspective, it's a good perspective to have when you're talking about what your focus is and what your priorities are, right? I think that's pretty much basically what he's saying, and I kind of agree with that. I have a friend that kind of out here trying to do multiple things, right? She's trying to find her Mr. Right. She's trying to find the right guy for her, but then she's got a family, that she's trying to raise. She got kids. She's got career goals that she's trying to attain. So I think it's all about priorities. What I would usually tell her is that, hey, if you're gonna date, it is nice to find somebody that can be there to be kind of, maybe a support system or maybe a partner or whatever the case may be. But when you have so many things going on, sometimes you have to have your priorities straight. You got to look at what's most important. And if what's most important is getting your children taken care of, then focus on your children, focus on your career, focus on spending time with them, or focus on whatever to make that happen, right? Because sometimes dating can distract you, you know what I mean? And especially nowadays, I mean, I've been married 11 years, and it wasn't a lot different 11 years ago. I didn't really have to get out here in the dating scene. Marrying when I married my wife, we were friends already for a long time. But before that, whatever number of years before we started dating, I remember just being out here trying to figure it out, right? And I know things have changed a lot in the last 15, 20 years, and I think it's even harder to kind of pin people down for what their real intentions are. Like my man was just on the line. I mean, keeping it real or not, you know, he's like the example out here. A lot of people are out here bouncing around. They have great intentions going in, but 3-4 days later, they see the next thing that crosses their path as the thing they want to go after. They leave you kind of sitting out there lost because you're trying to figure out what they're doing, right? You know? So I think it's about priorities. You know, so if your priority is finding a life partner or finding somebody to be with, then let dating be for that purpose. But a lot of people are not really looking for that. So, you know, it's kind of hard to, you know, say that person that you're dating is really, you know, out for that. So you have to communicate. You have to figure out what their intentions are, and hopefully that they hold up to that. But if your priorities are bigger than that next person that's going to be standing next to you at the altar, then just date for fun. Don't date to be, you know, distracted.
Being serious.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Well, I want to answer this question because I know for the longest time I didn't want to get married. I thought all marriages, like at the rate I knew people getting married, people were getting married just to say that they got married. So for a while I did not want to get married. I think I do want to get married, but if I'm going to get married, I want to be madly, head over heels in love with the person I'm going to marry. I don't want to marry just because we get health benefits. I don't want to marry just to say that I'm married. I want to be in love with the person that I'm choosing to marry. So therefore, I'm dating and with the intention to marry, but only if I'm in utter, complete, stupid love type of love. I don't want to get married for the frivolous reasons that people get married nowadays. You see it happen when people get married just for the kids. People get married for stupid, every other reason except for love. I would love to be in love. I think for me to personally get married to any person, I had to be in love with that person. So that would be my answer.
Well, let me play devil's advocate on that one. Yeah, let me play devil's advocate on that one. But what does love mean to you? I mean, does it mean having health benefits? Does it mean having, you know what I mean? Some people look at love a little differently, you know. I mean, maybe not health benefits, you know what I mean, though. I'm talking about the kind of love where I can't live without you. I want to wake up to your face every day. I want to wake up to your breath in my face stinking, the corn chips, crusty socks that I got to wash and bitch about because you done left your crusty socks everywhere. I want that type of love. I want that love that's just, baby, I love you, but you get on my nerves, I want to punch you in the face, but I just love the hell out of you. Look at your face. You got a booger in your nose, but I still love you.
But see, that's not going, that alone, in today's time.
That's not alone, but I'm with everything else. But I just want it to be real, not like something just, you know.
Yeah, okay, I understand. Because from what I've learned in relationship, love alone won't sustain it.
Yeah.
You know,
right, yeah.
In today's time,
unfortunately.
In today's time, love alone won't sustain it. There's so much else going on, you know, the financial pressure. We're in a capitalistic society. Yeah. So, you know, the financial pressures nowadays are so real. You know, that's why 50% of marriages end because of money.
Yeah.
Money issues, stuff like that. So it's like, you know, when I look at marriage, when I think about marriage, you know, like I look at it different than a lot of people as well, because I don't believe in divorce.
Yeah. No, if I get married to you, we're gonna be together forever.
Yeah.
That's it.
But then that's a tricky thing.
Yeah.
That's a trick. Like that still scare me. That still scare me because what if infidelity, not on my part but her part? Now, I mean, how can I handle? Am I strong enough to accept her back, to forgive her?
Yeah.
So, you know, in my heart, I got to be strong enough for marriage too, and be able to weather whatever storm comes with that. You know, and that goes back to my point. At this moment, I don't have the strength nor the energy to weather any kind of storm like that. So I got to keep it real simple. It was It's not simple, but straight to the point. Daughter health. You know, I can't. That's just my perspective when it comes to dating.
Yeah,
you know?
No, I definitely agree.
Because there's a lot that come with marriage. You know, like I know a lot of people that's married. You know, and I always go back to my first example. My grandfather, my grandmother, God rest her soul. You know, growing up, you know, I thought that marriage was perfect. You know, my grandmother, this was on my father's side. You know, I felt like I was so in love with her. I was like my mom. I would call her my mom. You feel me? And then to come to find out, like, and Grandpa was like my hero. You know, then come to find out this man had a whole nother family on the side.
Wow.
You know, like that, you know, like, but it happened so many years prior to me even being conceived. It was like, you know, it was whispers, but when my grandma finally died, that's when it came out.
Yeah.
So, like, that threw me for a loop when it came to talk to marriage. It was like, wow, like, because my grandma knew. So it was like, wow, she had to deal with that. She had to live with that.
That's how those relationships were, like, back in the day. You know, the men stepped out
but
and the women stayed.
Yeah.
Whereas now, if a guy cheats, the women is like, I'm out. Like, I don't got time for that.
Mm-hmm.
And they done had, you know, back in the day, they had family, they had other spouses, all that.
But then it's like on the flip side, it's like he stayed too. You know, my grandma had 7 kids. You know, so it's like he stayed, because like I said, I was so blind to it, because all I seen him do was work all day, every day. If he wasn't working, he was fishing. You know what I mean? So that's like that was my only. So it threw me for a loop. And then, you know, there's a second part to that. Like I said, she died. She died young. You know, considering she was like in her mid-50s. And you know, he was there through that whole. Yeah, so he was there through that whole. And I seen how that broke him. Like, you know, with everything. Like I seen like he wasn't that man, that hero I seen growing up. You know, and I was like, wow, that scared me about marriage too. It's like, wow, how can, you know, I was scared to love somebody that much.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes sense.
No,
because if I love it, like, just to lose them, like, or watch them die.
Yeah.
And then to fast forward to my father and his wife, and she had to put up with the same thing. Like, though he died at 42, and she had to stick there and watch. Like, there's so much that come with that. You know, are you built for that? You know, everything would be all lovey, but you know, when them vows, you know what I mean, through sickness and through health, you know, when that comes, are you going to be there?
But is that why you feel like? So
that's just a little part of it.
How you feel about your situation? Like, you don't want to have somebody watch you or go there and not know if they're going to still be there?
I don't care, because like I said, I'm uninterested. You know, so it's like, personally, I really don't even want to put nobody through that. You know, it's not that I'm afraid they might leave. I don't want to put you through that.
Yeah.
You feel me? I don't want to put you through that. You feel me? It's you know, I'm 32. So it's like, it's you know, has everything deteriorating. So with me, it's like nah, you know, God bless me with my daughter. You know, so, you know, just do whatever I can do to stay healthy and provide for her as long as I can. That's, you know, because anything else I feel is like would take away time, I guess. And I don't want to take away time from my daughter.
I can dig that.
Yeah, I feel you there.
Yeah, so that's when it comes to relationships, that's why I'm really like, I don't even want to entertain it, because I know if I entertain it, anything can happen. I don't love like I love hard, so
yeah. Well,
definitely like to thank Willie for calling.
Yeah, definitely, Willie. Thank you for calling and chiming in on that one.
No problem.
Thank you for the other caller. Your call was interesting as well. Thank you for calling too. We let our phone lines are open to anyone to call in and join in. They may say some stuff that we might not agree with, or they want to speak their feelings. They're absolutely entitled to speak their feelings. That's why as grown folks talk, we have to be prepared to have grown people talking about grown things and grown people giving their opinion, whether we choose to agree with it or not. But definitely want to thank you guys for tuning in to tonight's show. We kind of went over. We will not be having an after show, so we're going to pretty much wrap it up here. Willie, thank you for calling. Willie, while you're on the line, can you give them your blog information?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just reach me at Willie Styles. That's Styles with a Z, STYLEZ, .com. WillieStyles.info has all my website links, so definitely hit me up. And I'm at Willie Styles everywhere, Instagram, Twitter, on Facebook. Hit me up.
All right. Clayton, you want to give out your information?
Where y'all can hit me at on thekingstruth.com. If you're on Twitter, it's at eTrentonGroomy. You can catch me on Snapchat at The King's Truth as well. Instagram, Clint Black with a Q, BLAQ, and that's about it.
All right, and you can reach me at IamSunny_D on Twitter and Instagram. You can hit me up on my blog, unreservedlyme.wordpress.com. You can follow J. Rowe on Twitter, and everywhere else he is at JRowe609 on everything. He's social, as he likes to tell you guys. Definitely follow our blog's Twitter, which is GFT_radio.com. Radio. I'm sorry, I'm just .com and everything. Also, check out our website, www.gftradioshow, and check that out as well. And we will upload this podcast to the YouTube channel before the weekend is out. So if you missed it or you want to listen to it again, you can either check it out on here on Blog Talk Radio or head over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and make sure you don't miss out on all episodes. Thank you guys for listening tonight, and have a great one.
All right, y'all. Good night.
Bye.
Summertime is right around the corner, and so are the hot deals at your local AT&T store. Right now, AT&T is offering 2 Samsung Galaxy smartphones for one great price. That's like 2 ice cream cones with rainbow sprinkles for the price of 1. How cool is that? Plus, for a limited time, get up to $650 in credits per line to help you switch when you trade in your current smartphones and buy new ones on AT&T Next. And at your local AT&T store now through Sunday, enjoy hot deals on the latest accessories like cases, portable chargers, and Bluetooth speakers. So hurry to AT&T now for these great deals. It doesn't get any hotter than this. Don't wait. Visit your local AT&T store today. AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Limited time offers. Each line and switch offer requires eligible port-in, trade-in, purchase, and service. Get minimum of $10 trade-in credit plus prepaid card and amount of device balance or early termination fee less trade-in. Fees, charges, and restrictions apply. Accessory offer at select stores. Exclusions and restrictions apply. See store for details.